inside. Clear. Got one outside. Clear outside. Got one inside. Clear inside. Got one inside. Clear to the bottom. Got one outside. Clear to the top.
Who all we got in here tonight for admins? Radio check.
Check the mail.
Thank you. Sorry about that. Like I said, I thought you were going to slide to the inside, so I went high.
That's my bad anyway.
Hey, Louie, got a copy?
Yeah, go ahead.
That picture Billy Melvin posted, where was that at? That wasn't at Jasper, was it?
It was was it the one where the kart racer got run over?
Somebody was laying on the ground and they were doing CPR.
Yeah, that was a kart racer at Jasper. He fell out of the cart and got run over. There's a lot of people saying he probably ain't gonna make it, but you know how Facebook medical experts are.
Kart racer. They were running go-karts out there?
Yeah, they've been running karts for 2 years now. First time anybody's gotten hurt.
Somebody said that the Speed 51 feed from the Rattler wasn't working. Did you hear anything about that?
I heard that it cut off. They were having a rain delay or something, and it cut off, and it won't come back up.
Ooh, that's going to cost them.
Yeah, I hope all them Tennessee boys that went to Jasper today that said they were having such a blast or had a really good time, because Jasper may not be around much longer after this. I hope that Robbie Edger pays attention to it, because they didn't have an ambulance at Jasper either. Of course, they didn't have any paid EMTs or paramedics there either. They just had some off-duty firefighters.
So what does Huntsville have?
We have a HEMSI response unit, which basically is it's either a pickup truck with a camper shell or it is a SUV, and they have a paramedic there on duty. The reason that Robbie hasn't had an ambulance there is that it costs him like $700 a night to have an ambulance there. And we actually have an ambulance within about 5 to 7 minutes down the road. So if there is a bad accident and the paramedic calls for an ambulance, they'll be there before he gets the patient stabilized.
All right, well, that's good. I had no idea officially what they had as far as resources.
Yeah, if you look down there by where the pace car sits on race night, there is not an ambulance, but there's an EMT there with a first response unit. He's got all of the life-saving equipment and everything that an ambulance has. It's just not an ambulance. He can't transport somebody. Plus, in a worst-case scenario, we're less than 5 minutes from North Huntsville via Medflight.
So what are they going to do with the program next weekend?
As I understand it, the super stocks will run a double feature. Both features paying points. The next time that they have the pure stocks back, they will do the same thing. And the next time that they have the baby grounds back, they will do the same thing.
That's a good idea. That'll work.
Well, some of the pure stock boys got mad and left because they said they should have already been run. But when they moved the open wheels to the third or fourth race to beat the weather, that put the pure stocks further down the list, and they didn't get to run.
Yeah, somebody's always going to be mad in that situation.
Well, Robbie actually talked to the super stock guys, and they were all cool with it. They didn't really have a problem. And the pure stock guys, they had 3 or 4 of them that got mad and left before Robbie even talked to them. And then when he went up there and talked to the guys that were left, they seemed to be cool with it, you know. But by getting over 50% of the racing in, he didn't have to, give any refunds on the ticket, on the gate. So because that would have killed him.
Yeah, nobody likes to do that. I'd rather give them have them bring their ticket back and get them in the next week than give them their money back.
Well, that's kind of what I said. You know, give them $2 off next week or whatever. You know, don't make a full refund. Just hold on to their ticket and give them $2 off. And he said, "Oh, that'll be a nightmare." And I said, "Well, no, not really, because if they have their ticket from this week, then all they got to do is hang on to it, throw it in their wallet or their purse, and bring it back next week. And they get $2 off."
So that's not what he's going to do then.
No, he's not going to do that. We actually got 60% of the races in, and by, I don't know if it's by law or by rule or what, but if he gets the main event, which was the open wheels, and at least 50% of the races in, then he doesn't have to give a refund.
Well, I guess that's good, because I threw my ticket away when I got home when I was cleaning my pockets out.
Go dig it in the trash quick.
I know which trash can it's in, and it won't have to be emptied for another 2 weeks.
That was the largest opening night crowd in the Edger area.
Yeah, when you starve somebody that long, you're going to have a frenzy at feeding, huh?
Yeah, I just hope too many people didn't get mad about not getting the rest of the features. Yeah, I mean, hell, all it was the pure stocks and the baby grands and the super stocks. And, you know, the super stocks are going to be made up. They're going to get to see, if you come back next week, you get to see a double feature in that race. So that's a plus. A lot of the crowd really doesn't, from what we're able to determine, a lot of the crowd really doesn't care too much for the baby grands. He runs them because it's a good moneymaker for him. Every one of those cars brings anywhere between 4 and 8 people in, and at $30 a head, they more than pay for themselves.
Matthew, how you doing?
Matthew's going to try to go 2 for 2 tonight.
Which will make him, let's see, yeah. So he's already got 3 wins under his belt right now. Two plus one.
Yeah, I was talking to Ray, and I said, "Hey, is that the old gold car?" He said, "Yeah." He said, "Don't tell nobody." He said, "We're just claiming it's a different car so they won't bitch too much," because they didn't like that gold car.
Now they hated it.
Well, hell yeah, if it passes you, yeah, they're gonna hate it.
Yeah, they can't keep up with it. But yet nobody said a thing about Roger Woods bringing his Boers 4-cylinder up there and dusting the field until they broke the throttle cable.
Has anybody heard any update from the Rattler?
I thought I saw one a few minutes ago said something about Ty Majeski won it.
Yeah, Majeski won it.
Well, good deal. I heard Letson won the open wheel race last night.
Yep, he went flag to flag, pretty much dusted the field. Jim Wall finished 6th, I think he did. I guess Casey's not going to be here tonight. He's racing at Duck River tonight.
Well, as long as we got our race director here, I'm cool. Well, actually, we don't. I don't see Kevin in here yet.
Yep, I'm right here.
Oh, you snuck in?
I've been sitting here the whole time.
Hey, Kev, I meant to tell you, appreciate the quick turnout on the turnaround on getting the results out.
Yeah, that's the way I try to do it every weekend when we're racing.
I'm going to go ahead and do my show tomorrow night, even though it's a holiday, but I'm going to go ahead and do it. And, you know, because you can always go back and watch it. You don't have to be there live. Oh, and by the way, Shanique was kind of pissed because she hadn't got any race results yet.
Who?
Can hold her breath too on getting anything from an official channel.
Who is Shanika?
Angela Beth.
What does she need him for?
She does a little podcast called Shaniqua's Racing Recap. And it's, you know, I try to be as professional as I can. And C2 is a little, you know, he's pretty professional about it. She don't care. She cusses and carries on and everything else. She's already bitching and raising hell at these people for commenting on the kid getting hurt down there at Jasper. You know, well, you get being a race car driver, you know, and blah, 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 blah. And she said, well, we as drivers, she's been in a fucking race car one time.
Is she the one that does the contortion artist with her face?
Yeah, but she didn't do that. She hadn't done that this year so far. She's done 2 of her little podcasts, and she hadn't done used that on either one of them. But she's going to piss some people off. I'm here to tell you there's going to be some really mad folks at her.
All right. FYI, I am broadcasting. I probably should have told everybody up front. I'm always going to always assume that I'm broadcasting.
Do me a favor, go back and delete this part of the broadcast and restart it.
If anybody's watching now has already seen, you can't take that part back.
That'd be fine. I don't care. Either that or go in and block some people. You in the Mike Oliver car tonight?
I am. Not doing it very much justice.
Well, you're missing one important element of that car. I'm not going to say it on here, but you know what I'm talking about.
Well, I might have it tucked in there.
You know, just be sure that if you tear the body panels off the rear end, that you duct tape them back on real quick.
Yeah, you don't want to drag it down the front straightaway.
I was there that night, and I swear I could not figure out for the life of me why they were trying so hard to get those body panels back on, because it didn't really matter.
Yeah, it didn't matter because the thing went flying across the track.
Oh, it did come out of the car. Okay, I thought it was still in there. My bad.
Now, I remember it sliding across the front straightaway.
Yeah, it did. How do y'all like the gear change?
No, even though I'm slow, I'm good with it. I just cannot figure out how these guys are turning these times. Of course, it's the track's done slowed down some too. I was late getting in here.
Looks like overall everybody got faster with the gear change.
Derek's got faster in the last 15 minutes.
Practice is over.
Yeah, and I don't understand that because when he was out there just 2 minutes ago, or 5 minutes ago, whenever it was when I came off the track, I was running right with him.
Green, green, green. Give me a flyer. Uno, lapo. There's a flag. It's over.
Who's our EOL guy tonight?
It was actually supposed to be Jackson, Chuck.
Copy that.
So that means we start as we are, right?
10-4.
Hope I remembered to put our new last lap policy in the driver's notes. I think I did.
Yes, you did. I'm looking at it right here. So it looks like everybody's got their 2 laps in here, so we'll go ahead and get started with the drivers' meeting just in case anybody has any questions about the new last lap rule. Excuse the voice, it's a little hoarse from yesterday and last night. No horseplay, abusive language, profanity, or anything appearing to show lack of respect for your fellow racers. Remember that casual chat must be kept on your own private channel. There will be no conversations on public radio channels during the race except for positioning-related statements. Violators of the policy will get muted for 7 days for their first offense, and the penalties get worse after that. Remember, during your qualifying sessions, we do have the server set to strict monitoring, so you want to make sure that you don't do any burnouts, loop-de-loops, any other kind of crazy tire heating tactics at the start of your qualifying run, because the sim will disqualify you. At the conclusion of the race director will review all yellow flag incidents after the race, and the driver deemed at fault will be given an incident strike in the Wall of Shame incident log. Any driver that reaches 5 incident strikes inside of the rolling 28-day window will be suspended for at least the following week's event and until his incident strike count is below 5. Anything over 5 will be carried over and added to the following week's event slot. The new piece of business since the last time we raced, the last lap rule. This came out of an incident that occurred in a race last week, kind of trying to emulate the no spin to win rule that we have in real life at Huntsville. Regardless of whether or not the yellow flag comes out, if someone spins another lead lap car during the final lap of the race and is determined to be at fault in the post-race review, the offending driver will be scored the next car behind the car that he spun. In other words, the car you spun, you'll get scored behind them in the final running order. The definition that we're using of a spun car is one that spins and comes to a stop due to the incident. Now, if the spun car does not come to a stop, then no fault will be given to the offending driver unless it causes a yellow flag to be thrown by the sim. If you spin and come to a stop on the racetrack, try to wait till there's no oncoming traffic before you try to rejoin the field. If you try to rejoin the field and you wind up wrecking another car in the process, then you'll get charged with an incident strike. The leader is responsible for maintaining steady specified pace speed after the 1-to-go indication has been given to the field. The green light will determine the initial start of the race, but the race leader controls restarts and can fire any time after crossing the apex of turns 3 and 4. And I believe Chuck had determined that that was just past the Jordan sign there in turns 3 and 4. That's the point where you can fire. The penalty for jump starts, if the position is not given back immediately, will be a post-race 1-lap penalty. The race leader must start and restart the race on the inside front row. There is no lane choice. Move over here is to the outside. Please stay in the highest lane possible when you're being lapped. We do allow for a maximum of 3 green-white checkered restarts. Remember that black flags issued by the simulation will not be cleared. The previous series winner will sit out qualifying and start into the longest line. For last week, that was Jackson Bishop, so Jackson's not with us here tonight, so that will apply next time. There are no limits to the number of tires that you can have during the race, although I did see, looks like that feature is finally coming to iRacing, so I'm sure once that becomes available, that'll be implemented into the rules package at some point. Any questions about anything, guys? All right, well, good luck to everybody, and may the force be with you.
Live long and prosper.
Line up on the outside. Pit road is closed.
I got so bored today I watched a Star Trek motion picture.
There are worse things.
I got so bored today I voided the warranty on my $400 Yaesu ham radio.
Chuck, you would do that, wouldn't you?
I'm telling you, I got bored.
What'd you find doing it?
I put the Mars cap mod in it so it would transmit pretty much all the way across the bands.
Nice.
But Kevin, no, I will not. I will not talk on it.
Say what? You said, huh?
So what's the use in having it if you're not going to transmit on it?
It's just the feel of having the power.
Unless you're a Mars operator, then
It's kind of like having an automatic M16 in your gun case, Louis. You'll probably never get it out in public, but it's nice knowing that you have it.
You been looking at my gun case? That's weird. It's 2 degrees and the pace car lights are already off.
Green flag, next time by.
Battery must have died in it.
Getting ready here, getting ready. Green flag, green flag. Got one inside, outside. Yellow flag is out, line up single file. Pit road is closed. Pass route 51, car, pass the pipe car, pass route 14, car, pass route 51, car, pass route 175, car.
Come on, Mike.
Pass route 30, car. Catch route 31, car.
This should be a single file, right?
Yeah, should be.
Pit road is now open.
Welcome back, Mr. Spradlin.
Pit road is closed. Green flag, next time by. Ready? Green, green, green. Got one outside. Clear to stop. Got one outside. Clear outside. Outside. Clear outside. Outside. Clear to stop. Outside. Clear. Okay, we're halfway to the finish. Got one outside. Clear to the top. Yellow flag is out. Line up single file. Pit road is closed. Catch stop 33, Chop.
Sorry about that, Joe. I thought I had you cleared
Catch
there.
right, Chop.
No, I got no business out there tonight. Absolutely none. Guys, I'm sorry. Mike, I'm sorry about coming back like that.
Almost pooped myself.
Chop 31. Got the lucky dog. Let them past on the outside. Pit road is now open. Pit, go. Line up single file.
Good job, Matthew.
Catch about 43, Chop.
Alright, the pro of having pit box number 1 right there.
Let 33, Cowboy. Catch about 43, Chop. Green flag, next time by. Line up on the inside. Toss about 31, Chop. Ready? Green flag, green flag. Yellow flag is out. Line up single file. Pit road is closed. Let 31, Cowboy.
I'm sorry, Louie. I tried to miss you.
I just flat lost it. That quick start, I got on it a little too hard.
Well, I finished you off.
80, Chop.
Ain't no thing, buddy. You ain't got nowhere to go. Not here anyway.
Pit road is now open. Car 14 got the lucky dog. Let them pass on the outside. Let 14, Cowboy.
So much for my new Dr. Feelgoods. All burnt and flat spotted now.
I got a set over here, I'll say you.
Yeah. I got special calls.
Ah.
Matched right, staggered perfect. Drive through the smoke, Cole, drive through the smoke. Wonder where our Huntsville old-timers are, Malone and Stapler.
Well, they're either off racing somewhere or too tired after racing all day, or they're watching the cup race.
Ain't too bad. Nearly 70 laps without a
Green
caution.
flag, next time by. Get ready, going green. Green, green, green. Got one outside. Clear the top. Outside. Clear. Got one outside. Clear outside. 5 laps to go. One more lap to win.
Good one, Chuck.
You won.
Good run, Matthew.
Matthew, I saw you almost got to him. You almost got to him there in the last 2 laps.
I was trying everything. I wanted it to be Chuck. I was trying everything I could to get to him.
Ow.
You came off turn 2 and it was sideways all the way to where the back gate would be. Well, no broadcast tonight, so no victory lane interview. COVID-19, you understand. Oh, by the way, I've already gotten a message about why I wasn't wearing a mask last night.
You what now?
I got a message, somebody posted a picture of me and Chase Oliver, and I got a private message that said, you didn't have a mask on.
I'd be surprised if somebody doesn't raise a stink about how close everybody was up in the stands.
That's it, go!
Of course, what are you supposed to do? I mean, that was one of the biggest crowds I've ever seen since back in the 80s. So how are you supposed to distance yourself?
Well, they were hoping for a large crowd, but they didn't. They got way more than they thought they would get. That's actually the largest opening day crowd in the Edger era. Okay, so I see my caution review. I was responsible for lap 74. Was I supposed to pit?
No, there's no requirement to pit. It's all incident strike based right now.
Okay, well, it got me a chance to get 4 new tires. Well, no, hell, I already had the new tires. It was the new tires the reason I spun.
So we only had 2 cautions tonight. I see we had one on the first lap, and then I remember another one, but I think that was it, wasn't it?
I think we had 3.
Yeah, maybe. Okay, well, still not too bad. That's not going to help much in getting that average down, though. Incident strike's probably coming. Or, I'm sorry, incident DQ is probably coming.
I thought it would have been okay on that tonight. I think I got 0. I don't think I got any. Oh, I guess I probably would have got 2 for that spin.
So we did decide to start it off. Of course, we still got one more race to go to average in, but it'll take a miracle to get. We got so many cautions right now over that 6 race period. It's going to be really. I don't know if it's even possible to get it down to under 6, but we'll hold off until, and we'll let it ride its course out. But we're going to start it out at 16 instead of 10. See if 16 takes care of any of the problem. If it don't, we'll ease her on down.
Well, I think that our car count has dropped off. Of course, this is a holiday weekend. A lot of people are out of town or doing other things, you know, racing. Casey's racing. Jackson's racing. I don't think we're going to have a problem at 16.
Yeah, you know, if you go back and look at the last couple of races, though, like last week, there were so many incident points that if we had been going with 12 or even 14, you'd only had about 6 cars finish the race out of all of those that started. So that's kind of why I looked at it and said, we're going to have 3 or 4 cars running at the end of the race if we go with 10X like we had planned. So I figured it might be better to start out high and give everybody at least a little bit of leniency to start with, and then if we need to tighten the belt up, we can. Kevin, you good? Kevin didn't get booted out of the race, did he?
Yeah, I got you.
I don't know if he can hear you.
Kevin, you copy?
Yeah, 10-4. Can you hear me?
I got you. All right. I didn't hear anything from you. I thought you might have got kicked out of the server.
No, I'm here. I'm here. I was just saying, I wish I had this kind of view from the tower. This would be awesome.
Yeah, that F3 is a nice view here. Or I should say camera 3.
I sure was hoping Matthew would get to you. Because when y'all were racing each other, I was catching up to you, but as soon as you got in line, you started pulling away from you.
As good as he was practicing and qualifying, I didn't even give myself a 5% chance of catching him.
I made one mistake and it cost me.
I caught myself at lap 49 from going halfway next time by on the 41. And I thought, man, if I had done that, I would have screwed somebody up sure as a dickens.
Yeah, Scotty, I was a little bit worried about him. I knew he had old tires, but he can be wide.
I don't think he took but 2, if he took any at all.
Yeah, the biggest thing I was afraid of is Matthew was saving his tires there, for a last 10-lap run, and I think he probably was.
I think Scotty did just take 2 tires, by the way.
He might have been better off not taking any.
Yeah, it could have been better off just staying out.
So we end up having 3 cautions?
Yes, 3 cautions.
Just a thought. Maybe we could go with number of cautions per race. As long as we don't get more than 3, everything remains the same. But if we get more than 3, then we go to the 16X minutes for the next race.
So instead of using the average, just tell everybody, look, this is it. You got one more chance of not using that system, and we got to be 3 cautions or less.
Yeah, do that and just say, all right, we're going to go with this. If we have more than 3 cautions tonight, next week we go to the 16X or 14X, whatever you want to make it.
Okay, how about this? I got a counter offer. Yeah, we can do that. Tell everybody next week if we can 3 cautions or less, we won't bring the system in. However, there needs to be the doorway needs to be still open. Do we keep the average system up and say if we're, like, for example, we only have 2 cautions next week, we go ahead and figure that into the average and come up with our average, and then we say, all right, we're going to hold off. We're not going to do the DQ yet. But then we're just tacking on, and basically you're giving everybody one more week to get that number down, get that average down. How about that?
That sounds good to me. I mean, that's fair.
I just don't want everybody to sit down, relax, and go, boy, we don't have to worry about that again. So it's basically just another, because I know it ain't going to, if it don't, I think if we went caution free next week, we would still end up having over a 6 average. So we can just say, yeah, you give us you give us 3 cautions or less next week for the mini stock race, then we will not go to the incident DQ system until the following week, and that gives you another week to have 0 cautions or whatever you want, whatever we can do, and then that might get that average down. So if we can continue to have 3 cautions or less, then we can count all of those races towards the average, and that's going to help the average. And as long as we keep having 3 or less, then we don't worry about it. But as soon as we exceed 3, at that point, we look at the average so far, and if it's 6 or higher, then we go to the DQ system. So that way, if everybody keeps on behaving and we don't have but 3 cautions, then we don't do the DQ system. And then the first time we go over 3 cautions, then we take all the races we run thus far and we re-average and see if that number is above or below 5.99 or right at 6 or over 6, whatever. And then that will be the decision maker.
Yeah, it sounds like a plan.
Yeah, I hate having to implement that system. It'd be nice if we could take care of it. If everybody could take care of it on their own and not have to do that other stuff. But you got to keep people honest.
Yeah, no doubt. There's some folks when the chin strap gets tight, the blood flow stops.
Well, guys, y'all have a great Memorial Day weekend, and remember what it's all about. I'm sure that we all have some relatives down the line that this would be an honor of. So enjoy the rest of your weekend, long weekend that is. Hopefully it's long for everybody, and we'll see you back here. Well, we'll see y'all Friday night, or actually we'll see you Wednesday night first for the mini stock race. So I got a few minutes left to capture some screenshots, and Kevin, just send me those 3, and I'll get everything updated tonight. And thanks again, guys. Matthew, good job tonight.
Thank you, Chuck. Good win.
Hey, Chuck, the caution review's already in the inbox, man.
Thank you, Kevin.
See everybody later. I'm going to go try to finish the schedule for next weekend. So hopefully we'll see you guys then, too.
All right, guys. Y'all have a good one.